I am making a video about breathing. Not because I don't think you know how to do it, we all know how to breathe, but because there are some elements of breathing that kind of get left by the wayside as we move through our day. So we have two halves of our nervous system. We have the parasympathetic nervous system, which is like the rest and digest part of our central nervous system. And then we have the sympathetic nervous system, the fight, flight, freeze. And we spend a lot of time by default in the sympathetic nervous system, a little more anxious or just reactive. That's a normal way for a lot of us to live. So this three-part breath that I want to teach you or refresh your memory on is really just a way to activate that calming parasympathetic nervous system that helps us to rest, digest, and creates less wear and tear on our body and just ourselves in general as we move through the day. So to begin with, I would invite you just to stand or sit wherever you are. Maybe let your gaze soften or your eyes close. And begin to notice the breath that moves in and out of your nostrils. No need to change anything. Just notice it. And notice, if you can, where in your lungs that breath is moving to. Most of the time, we're going to find that our breath, when we're not paying attention to it, wants to live high and tight in our chest. And what we're going to do now is place our hands on our bellies and begin to breathe so that we can feel our hands moving. It doesn't have to be extreme at all, just enough to feel the hands moving. So what we're doing here is drawing breath into the lower part of the lungs, and this does activate the parasympathetic nervous system. It changes the way our entire body functions when we begin to breathe like this. So easy in, easy out. Maybe a sigh. And then continue to draw the breath into the low belly, but bring the hands right to either side of the solar plexus, so they're on the middle of your ribs. And so continue to breathe in here, but breathe in high enough now so you can feel your hands move as the breath displaces your ribs. As you exhale, feel the sides of the waist draw in. Maybe a little sigh. So low belly to mid lungs on the inhale. That's our second part. The third part of the breath, we draw the hands right below the clavicles on the chest. Inhale, low belly, mid lungs, upper chest. So we're really embodying the entirety of our lungs as we're breathing here. And just feel what that's like for a few rounds. Breaking it into pieces. Low lungs, mid lungs, upper chest. And your chest can even rise on the exhale. No need to collapse down. Just a gentle rising so we stay tall as we breathe. I didn't mention this, but if you're seated, be seated on a chair or sitting up on a cushion so that you aren't collapsing in the lower part of the spine, because that keeps us from accessing the low belly. And then take your hands away from the chest, breathing low belly, mid lungs, upper chest. On the inhale, sides of the waist, draw in on the exhale. And maybe you can feel a difference between the first couple breaths you took, just noticing and consciously embodying the full lung, all of the lungs, all of the lungs, embodying your whole upper body as you breathe. So you can use this anytime. You can use it when you wake up. You can use it if you're driving or, on public transport. You can use it if you're someone like me who works with horses and you know you should be taking deep breaths, but it may be easier to kind of hook the mind into a pattern instead of just thinking big deep breaths. It's like this is something we can actually grab onto. There's steps: low belly, mid lungs, upper chest, release. And I recommend practicing it as often as you can, especially if you can find a time in your day, in the morning, in the evening, after lunch, whenever it is, just to do 3 minutes. I guarantee you will see a shift in how you're feeling. Thanks for watching.